by 3 different men. He would give me sweets so that I wouldn't tell my parents. He was a family member. Choke me up against the wall, slap me and hit me. I love you, you're my favorite cousin. And he'd kiss me and he'd touch me all over. She went and told them, and I did not like the way they reacted to it. We're not lying about it. We just want to be believed. We just want to be heard. Hi, I'm Dominique. I'm 22 and I'm a makeup artist. I was sexually abused by 3 different men from the ages of 6 to around 13. The first time, I was 6. He was a family friend. He had children of his own, so my parents obviously assumed he was safe to be around me and my sister. And that continued for 2 years. He would touch me and stuff. The second time it happened, I was 8. That also continued for around 2.5 years. He was our cab driver. He would take us to school back and forth to and from school. He would give me sweets so that I wouldn't tell my parents. I never, internally, I did not enjoy anything was happening to me, but at the same time, I didn't speak out against it because of the sweets. And the third time, it started when I was 11, and he was a family member, and he abused me for around 3 years. I think the one with my family member was the worst. He threatened me saying that he would kill me, and which is why I never actually came out and told anyone about it. I mean, looking at it now, he wouldn't have actually killed me, but when you're young, you kind of think that they are going to do it. And my cousin was pretty scary. With the third one, my cousin, one of the things he would do to me, he would, while we were playing hide and seek and stuff, he would find where I was. He would choke me up against the wall, slap me and hit me, belittle me. He would call me disgusting things. He would say, "You're fucking disgusting, you gross, I hate you, you're gross." And then he would calm down, and then he would be like, "I'm so sorry." He'd say, I'm so sorry, I hurt you." And he'd tell me, "I love you, you're my favorite cousin." And he'd kiss me and he'd touch me all over. And he would then leave and he'd go, we were playing hide and seek, right? So then he'd leave and then he'd come back and he'd do the same thing all over again. He'd hit me, kick me. He would leave bruises all over my body, and I would be crying and things like that. Like, that was a repeated cycle that he would constantly do to me. Definitely affected my childhood. I was extremely paranoid of men, just men in general. I would go into panic attacks. My vision would get cloudy. I would start shaking if I was in a room with just men alone. Even if I knew the man or he was trustworthy, I would just get really anxious being around men, And now it's gotten better, but back then it was really difficult to deal with. I definitely didn't feel like I could ask for help, but that wasn't because I didn't have help. My parents always did teach me and my sister that if somebody touches you inappropriately in here or here or here, that we should tell them. But one time my sister was abused by somebody, and she went and told them, and I did not like the way they reacted to it. They flew into a tantrum and they got really angry at the man who did it. Obviously, that's totally fine that they did. But as a little kid, it made me scared to see my parents react this way, and which is why I never ended up talking to them about it. Also because I was with the first man, I didn't realize that, it was wrong. With the second guy, he would give me sweets, so I think that's what also stopped me. And with the third guy, my cousin, he told me he was going to kill me, so. They don't affect me as much as they did. The PTSD has slowly worn away, and a lot of it was to do with forgiving myself for what happened, because as As a society, we have been taught to kind of like blame ourselves for what happened, and a lot of it was forgiving myself for what happened, and it doesn't affect me as much anymore. Like, I can be in a room filled with men and I don't get scared anymore. Against protecting children against abuse, I've seen and read so many stories, and I've had people tell me first-hand accounts of their abuse and going to the police and trying to talk to them, and they just disregard it as, oh, this is normal, this is expected, this kind of thing happens. And it's really disappointing because abuse really takes a huge toll on your mental health, and to see this happen to kids everywhere who don't know what to do with it, who don't know how to reach out for help, who don't know how to ask for help, and then when they finally try to, their voices are ignored. It really puts it like, it really makes you feel like you're alone against the world, kind of. Justice, where there's the police and the law actually put these people away so that they don't do any harm. Because once a person, there's no turning a sexual abuser. If they're going to abuse somebody once, they're likely going to do it again. All these abusers who are out on the street, who haven't been caught, because there is no ramifications for what they're doing, they think they're free from the law, you know, and they just keep perpetrating and doing it all over again to other women and children or men. And it's just a vicious cycle, because it's really disheartening to see that there is nothing for victims to do, you know, or if there is, court cases get dragged out for years, and it's extremely traumatizing to relive your experience over and over again. To the parents first, if your child comes to you with sexual abuse, that's a big thing. It took a lot for them to come to you about it, because internally they feel really disgusting. Your natural body's response is to kind of enjoy it. You can't help it. It's a natural bodily response, but you feel disgusting because of it. And it's such a weird battle to deal with those two. And if your child is coming to you about it, you need to be able, as a parent, to create a safe space for your child to talk about it. So that would be not getting angry, not reacting instantaneously, though as a parent that it's understandable why you would want to react instantaneously, but don't do it, because it's just going to scare your kid off. They already feel weird telling you about this, and then you reacting, you getting angry or getting sad about it, as much as you have every right to, it's not going to help your child. And if your child tells you that they don't want anything done to this man or the person who has abused them, you have to listen to your child's wishes, because whether you like it or not, that you are creating a bond with your child that is trust. Your child is trusting you not to do anything, and so you have to not break their trust and listen to them. As a kid, you don't ask for any of this. It's not like you're putting yourself in harm's way. You don't know any better. You're a kid, you know. It is natural to feel shame because of what society and how we have perpetrated this vicious cycle for victims. Truly, you shouldn't be the one feeling ashamed. It's your abusers who should be disgusted and ashamed with themselves for doing this. Imagine putting somebody through this, right? So there's that. A lot of it is forgiving yourself for feeling shame and stuff. It takes a lot for a victim to come out and talk about their story. It's really difficult, you know, and then most of the time, a good 99% of the time, no one is going to lie about it, because it's so difficult to talk about it. We know that we are going to be judged for it, or we are going to be viewed as gross or tainted or something of the other. If we're telling you anything, we're not doing it, we're not lying about it. We just want to be believed. We just want to be heard. You know, why would we lie about it? Especially if we were abused as kids, why would we lie about it? What is the point of lying about it, right? And if somebody comes out and talks about their stories, you shouldn't be questioning them about what happened, or invalidating their experiences. We should be listening to them because what they went through was extremely traumatic. They don't call sexual abuse survivors for no reason. We are survivors because it was extremely difficult to go through and we still made it out. So no one is doing this for attention. Just believe victims. If we start to believe victims, that's when it'll be easier to break this cycle of shame that society and victims have perpetrated on themselves. Just say no.